Good afternoon, dear council members. I'm Alvin Poh. So today I'm running for the General Secretary for the 37th NUSSU Executive. So here's the overview about what I will present for today. And let me begin my presentation with something about myself. I started off my NUSSU journey 2 years ago. I started off in the NUSSU EXCO, the 35th NUSSU EXCO, as the Deputy Financial Secretary. Being in my position, it was a privilege for me to understand the various projects that was organized financially. I felt that I learned a lot over that 1 year because I came from a background that had no union experience at all. And it was really a life-changing experience for me. Moving on the following year, I decided to join the 36th Welfare Committee. I decided to move down to my committee simply because I want to know and understand how my committee are working and how are they reaching out to their students. So the best way to do that is really to join them as part of their MC. Besides that, I was given the opportunity to reach out to students directly, being able to understand how students feel about us in the union. Through my roles in the union, I have trained to be very particular and detailed over union documents, financial documents, and several other documents that we archive. But one key thing about myself is that I value and appreciate volunteerism. As a student volunteer myself, as well as everyone on the floor today, volunteerism is something. Through this journey, I met many friends. Not only friends, I met many seniors and people, and also student volunteers. In NUSSU, I would say is where I found my second home. Slowly being part of NUSSU, being part of this whole volunteering thing, it made me realize how much had the union done for the students, and how much had the student volunteer themselves contribute back to the students. And that's why I'm back here today. Why did I choose the union to begin with? I started off my university journey in a hall. I was part of a hall, and I was very interested to contribute back to the hall. But moving forward, I realized that NUS comprises of many different students, many students around in the faculty that I can contribute back to the hall. And that's when I decided to move into the union 2 years ago. Being part of the hall, or having very little knowledge back then, really made me feel, I feel how the students today feel about the union, which is the common question as to what is the union doing for me? How are they contributing to my life, or how is it adding value to my life? And all these kind of questions that are the common questions we hear daily. And so I'm here. I decided to join the union with my experience, with my experience and seeing what have the union done. I decided to come back and address student empathy, to be able to share to them and tell them that, hey, so it wasn't like this. I thought the same back then, but today it has been different. And these are the things that the union have done for you some way or another. Valuing volunteerism, I wish to contribute back to the student community. I see a value in contributing. Again, to what I mentioned earlier, was that there is an importance to what we do today and what we do for our students for tomorrow. And so I wish to continue that effort that we put into. Similarly, through this union experience, I've gained a lot of meaningful and memorable experience that shaped me to who I am today. The truth is, back in the days, I was just a studious guy, studying, NUSSU, and work hard for your good grades, and contributing back to the cause. But after that, I realized that there is more to that. There is more value to your university life or experience. It's not all about your studies. It's about the experience that you get after your 4 years. Things that you would not be able to do or achieve after when we graduate. And so I wish to create and share this meaningful, memorable experience to our students. What are my guiding principles for my term ahead? Things that I base on or I work with. The first thing is to listen. I always believe that to understand the students and to understand every other stakeholders, including the council members, as well as my NUSSU committees, is something very important. The only way to know how they feel, the problems that they face, is to listen to them. And with my experience in the last 2 years, I really hope to be able to share, to be able to enlighten people who have not been involved with the NUSSU, or even just started with the NUSSU. Thirdly, I wish to be professional in the things that I do. Professional in the sense that I always believe that being a student volunteer is about commitment. It's about to commit to the duties that you are tasked with. You know, everyone is part of, every other students in the school is part of the union, but how does it make us different from as a student volunteer? It's what we do for them and how we commit. Why the General Secretary? With my 2 years experience in various perspectives, first of all, I gained various perspectives on different, a wide range of perspectives. From being in the hall, being in the committee, being in the executive committee, being part of the CSE, being part of ISAC, and many more activities that I participated along my university journey. And with this, I hope it will basically have put me in a better position to make important and critical decisions for the union with the council members and with my executive committee. Over the years, I've also been involved and strongly involved in the union projects, both in the direction when I serve in the executive committee and both as a volunteer in these union projects. I've consulted my predecessors on the possible problems that I would face during council meetings, or how have the situation evolved over the years in council meetings. And I realized that we can actually work towards a more effective council meeting, and as well as for my exco meeting. There's a lot more that we can do to make this whole process more effective. I guess the newly elected president have voiced out some of the comment, as well as the other 3 other candidates that have gone before me, which is to instead of just passing motions during council meetings, I believe that council members should actually know and understand what is being passed, or what is the motion all about. You guys, so I look forward to creating platforms or working with my constitution position to create platforms where we can have a consultation session or discussion before we actually come for the real meeting to pass the motion. Over the 2 years, I've worked with various officers, NUS officers in for various things. And also with council members and committee members. Basically, all the various student volunteers in the union. And I believe that this will help me and put me in a better position to be able to continue to build on this strong foundation that I have, which is to connect with all of you today. What are my goals for the term? Here are the list of the goals of my term for the term ahead, which is to review the projects organized by the committees. There were some issues that was voiced out even by the earlier candidates, and I wish to reiterate that over the years, projects have been diluted. They started off with a very good objective, very good idea. But unfortunately, as it passed on over the years, things have changed. Whether it's now relevant to the students, or how is it achieving its objective. And so I look forward to reviewing these projects and for them to realign with the objective that the newly elected president has set on, and as well as the union objective and mission. Next will be to ensure the proper recordings of minutes. Minutes have been recorded over the years, and it's an issue for us in the Executive Committee on how we actually upkeep all these minutes and union records. And so I look forward to make sure that all these are properly recorded so that our future generation can use it as a reference for their future events or even future activities. I feel that is something very important that I should stress on here because especially during council meetings, many important decisions were made. Many feedbacks were given by various entities. And these feedbacks and decisions should be relayed and should be passed on to the future generation so that they do not repeat the same mistakes that was made. Or take on or work on the good initiative, good feedbacks that was made. The third thing that I wish to achieve is to promote better collaboration. In better collaboration, it's simply because over the years I've seen that we have organized many events, many clubs, many faculties. We all have our own events. But I realized that there are some platforms, there are many avenues where we can come together to collaborate and work on it together to make it bigger so that we can reach out to the larger outreach of the students, to achieve a larger outreach. So there's actually many platforms for such collaboration besides what is already in place today. When it comes to the examples of what already in place today are like Rank and Flag and SLF, where we try to get as many society clubs and faculty clubs and non-faculty clubs involved in this freshman orientation program. But looking forward, I hope to be able to introduce to you a special project that I wish to push out this year that will promote this better collaboration, not only to the faculty clubs, but also involving the non-faculty clubs. And lastly, being able to achieve this will help me to align with the newly elected president's vision, which is to develop a more inclusive union. After consulting with my predecessors and the various DOPs that were in charge of the freshman orientation projects, I realized that there is still room for improvement, not only on our side in terms of structure and how we organize it and on my main committees, but there is also some small improvement that we can make to reach out to the students or to benefit the students better. And I'll start with Student Life Fair. It was a good initiative by my predecessor to bring in the IT Fair. The IT Fair was meant to benefit the students so that freshmen can actually go out there to purchase their computers for their school ahead. But after discussing with the PDs, I realized that we can actually have external vendors with competitive pricing to come into NUS for this event to be able to provide better pricing for the students for their benefits. And so I'm looking into this avenue whereby we invite external parties who will be able to provide good price for the students. Union Camp. Union Camp has been an issue over the years in terms of management and many other issues. But the thing that I really wish to touch on is actually about how we can get to let the participants know more about the union. And I find that every year we have a very good and big pool of participants, about 400 people. But what is unfortunate is that how many of these people actually stay on in the union? Whether it's serving the exco, whether it's serving the committees, or even serving the faculty clubs or the non-faculty clubs. How many of them actually went back as student volunteers? It's a question that I wish to address. So I hope to be able to restructure the program in such a way that I'll be able to introduce more union relevant items to the participants, to be able to get them attracted and to be able to let them learn more about the union, not only about the exco, not only about the 9 committees, but also about the faculty clubs and the non-faculty clubs that is present today. Next will be Rank and Flag. I've seen Rank and Flag for 2 years, and in fact I'm part of it for 2 years already. And I realized that 2 years ago, in fact it's a year ago, last year, 35th NUSSU Exco actually organized their Rank and Flag in school, which is in Newtown, and it was a carnival. And I realized that, well, that's a brilliant idea. Carnival, has many benefits. It allows you to attract and reach out to more students, not only because of the performance, but also because what is offered in the carnival. And so I wish to continue that brilliant idea that was proposed in the past, and to have Greg and Flag for the following year in the form of carnival. What other benefits does it bring in the carnival? It allows open and more collaborative opportunities. Through the carnival, how I imagine the Rag and Flag to be would be to have the different constituent clubs or even some of the societies to be part of this. Not only to be part of SLF, but to be part of the carnival in Rag and Flag. To be able to reach out to the various students and to be able to share about their clubs or even attract them in their niche areas. Next thing I learned about this year's Rag and Flag is about beneficiary engagement. It's something new that they pushed up this year, and I really thought that was a brilliant idea. And so, but there were many obstacles, and not everyone has a very strong unit beneficiary engagement program for everyone. So I look towards to promote a stronger beneficiary engagement, so that participants, volunteers who volunteer in Flag will be able to get a more meaningful and more memorable experience, not only in terms of the event itself, but be able to get a touch and to learn more about the society, how they can help the society out there. So, moving on, and the last part will be to present to you the special projects, the one and only special project that I'll push up for the year ahead, which is Love NUS. The idea of Love NUS is to encompass appreciation in different and various forms. Appreciation is basically the key of this event, and it goes in several stages. It's about appreciating our volunteers and students and friends, and it moves on to appreciating our staffs and as well as our society in these various stages. The key thing of this event is to build university spirit in our students. It's to build that sense of belonging, that we belong as part of the university. It is a pity if a student graduates after 4 years and he doesn't feel so much attached to the university after having spent 4 years and gaining all the knowledge and all the experience and all the friendship, but there's very little sense of belonging after that. The first part of this whole campaign, Love NUS, will start with Share NUS. Share NUS will meant to appreciate our friends and also the volunteers that we have in our various clubs. I see that this is a very important component, and I realize that through engaging the different clubs and non-faculty clubs, we realize that there is such need to appreciate our volunteers. And so this program will be specially catered for this purpose. It's to forge friendships and create memories for our students. Moving on will be Thanks NUS. I guess many of us would have known what Thanks NUS is, given that Thanks NUS has been launched for 2 years already. Though there are many obstacles, but Thanks NUS has been a successful event to a certain extent. Officers have given us very good remarks as to how we actually come up with this Thanks NUS and how we actually approaching the workers that we have in the canteens, in the sweepers in our faculties and the workers in the canteen, and also our staff meaning our lecturers, our professors. And so it's a very important element as students to be able to thank our teachers, like how we do in our school back then through Teachers' Day. And I think this is a very good initiative to be able to build the spirit of gratitude in our students. The third program in this whole campaign is Care NUS. Care NUS, like how this whole campaign is structured, is to appreciate our society. It will be organized, or it will be launched through community service that we hope to reach out and open up to our students. Not only to the various faculty clubs and non-faculty clubs, but to basically to open to all students who are interested in community service. It wasn't solely meant to overlap with what CSE has already done in things, but it's actually, we are looking into avenues where we can further collaborate with community service club so that we can reach a larger pool of students who are interested in volunteering. And this whole event, or this whole campaign of Love at US will end off by coinciding with Open Day. The key idea why I look forward to this event coinciding with Open Day is to be able for us as the different entities in the union to be able to share that love for our freshmen, to be able to make them feel, oh wow, in school, in the union actually does this for their volunteers already, give them that awareness that actually this school is not just for you to come here to study, but there is many much more things or many much more experience that you can take home with. This is the rough timeline of the event that we hope to see in the upcoming year. And with this, I end my presentation. Thank you.
Now let's open the floor to Q&A.
Any questions? Yes.
So you mentioned correct that next year you want to be as in only become green, right? You want to grow. So how about the team? Because every year we have to change people. And what kind of, will you still say the kind of team, wouldn't that be the same as last year's team?
Oh, we're looking to, for teams, it really depends because we can change over the years. But the carnival idea is to have shops or even societies and faculty clubs to get involved with the booth and to be able to share about what they have to offer to the students. It's a different avenue for them. But for the team, we really have to work. I look forward to work with my PD, my upcoming PD for Rec and Flag, and how we can shape and look into different teams that we can organize for, even with the carnival in place. Teams is just, it's something that we define, it's not something that's fixed. And so similarly, I also feel the same. I wouldn't want it to be the same. Yeah. So that's my take on this. Yes.
Okay. Alvin from that club. To what level will the conceptualization of Red and Flag, in particular flag, especially the carnival idea, be done at the council level? And my second question is the engagement of the con clubs. Will it be done by the relations cell or will it be done by you?
Okay. I think I'll tackle the second question first, which is the engagement. We have discussed about this as our constitutional code, as in with my team, and we have looked. So, in terms of engagement and relation, the VP is very much involved in this. But for this event, Rec and Flag, it's more on how I can work with my upcoming MC for Rec and Flag into looking into engagement ways to engage the council members into this event. And for the first question, again, it was conceptualizing.
The conceptualization of Rec and Flag. To what extent will it be done at the council level?
Sorry, but I didn't get as in I don't
So like for
see-
example, will you get feedback from council regarding the entire concept of flag? Ensure that no faculties are left out? Or will it be with that?
I get. So, when it comes to conceptualizing, it's definitely consultative means. We will definitely don't want to put away the good that our predecessors have done, which is to consult the council members on how we should conduct the Rec and Flag. And when it comes to, so moving forward, we are really looking into avenues where we can sit down and discuss informally, because I don't think this is a good setting for us to discuss something to lead with constructive ideas. And so we look forward to other platforms other more less formal platform where we can sit down on a round table and slowly, trash out the things that we want to, the concerns that we have for rank and file. But when it comes to non-faculty clubs and faculty clubs, non-faculty clubs, we really look into ways where we can find new platforms for new collaborative ideas on how we can bring the various faculty clubs into part of this event. We understand that over the years, non-faculty clubs have not been that involved with rank and flag, and we want to move forward and try to make it, try to engage and also bring everyone on board. But I believe that different non-faculty clubs have their own student interest they serve different student interests and that they have their own objective to achieve. I do not want to, set something in place to affect the objective and the vision that each non-faculty club already have. And so we look into ways that we can collaborate. That's why I suggest the carnival. I really hope that the carnival will be able to be a good platform for the non-faculty clubs to be able to share and reach out to the students who come for rank and file.
Hi Alvin. So I'm Jay. So in light of your presentation's continuous emphasis on volunteerism, thank you for taking the initiative to volunteer yourself as an honored sec of NUSSU.
Yes.
And my question pertains to volunteerism actually, and it's a question for the curious. In the sense of there are small presidential candidates have raised a common problem, and it's that of high attrition rates. So what, in your opinion, personal opinion, actually accounts for this apathy? And judging from the list of specific recommendations, what do you think is the most promising countermeasure of them all?
When it comes to attrition rate, I've seen it over the 2 years. It's not easy to get people on board or people to serve over years and years, because sometimes there's simply no reason, there's simply no drive for them. But I really hope, going back to the principle that I have was to listen and to share. I really hope that I will be able to reach out to my committees, sitting down with them through their meetings, and make them realize that what they do is for a greater cause. Make them realize that what they do is for their students, and not just solely for the events that they organize. So I guess it's a very important thing to pass on the message from years to years to our future volunteers that there's a lot more that NUSSU do than what the normal student or general students perceive of us. And to really be able to do this, we really have to be able to share, to be able to communicate and bridge that information is things that they don't know but we know. Because I believe for many of us who have been in this for several years now, you will naturally know things. It's not about the extra information, but you naturally realize certain things that you value. In this case, I value what the union had gave to the students. Thank you. Next question. Yes, please.
Sorry, can I ask a curious question?
Yes.
So actually a slide that struck me as most interesting is actually that about me, particular and detailed. So my question is this: do you sometimes lose sight of the forest for the tree? Or more specifically, how do you keep in mind the broader picture of generalized visions whilst working on the minimum shape of individual projects?
So, can you repeat that?
Okay, sure. So basically, right, I really appreciate how you emphasize that you're very particular, very detailed.
Yes.
So I wonder, sometimes do you actually lose sight of for the forest, for the tree, when you're working on the details of a specific project?
Right. I think the detailed part about me comes with the paperwork that I emphasize on. I really value the importance of getting all these different paperwork, whether it's financial documents or whether it is a minute recording. All these are very important. And so the detailed part of me will evolve around how I keep track of all this and make sure that I'll be able to relay the message for the future generations. But given that I come with different perspective from my past experience, I think the key thing that I bring onto the team is the perspective. And so it allows me to see the bigger picture of the union as a whole, instead of just the nitty-gritty details about minutes and stuff like that.
Jeanette, my question is, so for this year's flag, right? So flagging can be, what's the word, defined in many different ways. And this year USP decided to define it slightly differently from what the NUSSU committee decided to define it as. And as a result, the committee decided not to give USC students flagging shirts at the Indian Executive Committee. So what's your opinion on that?
Well, I agree with the flagging comes in different forms. We can, to contribute back to our society, we can contribute through monetary means, which is flagging. Go out there to collect donations, to give back them money so that they can run their operation well, which is a way of contribution for all these communities. But I also understand that USC decided to work on beneficiary engagement, which is something that I value, and I believe there is nothing wrong with them being, oriented to do beneficiary engagement. I believe that is a good initiative and is something good to pursue. And there is no reason why not to give them the flag shirt, because they are contributing back to the society.
In the interest of time, since this won't be contested, I would like to propose the question.
Yeah, I prefer you guys to have more questions. I'll definitely have more to share, and I want to be able to share what I have to say. So, yeah, do ask.
So, based on your experience for the past 2 years of RAG, right, do you think that this year's RAG is actually a success?
Yes. So, I guess I've spoken to the previous DOPs, newly elected president. But basically, in terms of KPI, yes, we did achieve. In terms of money spent, it's big. There's a lot of money spent for this huge event, for moving out of the school, to organize Rectify. But let's look at it in terms of outreach. How many people have we reached out to? How many people have came for Rectify this year? And so the numbers clearly shown that it has been a success. And so yeah, to your question, yes, it has been successful. And I hope to be able to keep the numbers as it is, to be able to engage and outreach to more students, to get them more interested to participate in Rectify.
In your opinion, what is the objective of doing
Just first part. Okay. So for Union Camp, like many other social camps, is really meant to be able to share with the students, to be able to bring and get them used to prepare them for the university life that they are facing. How do we prepare them? By increasing the pool of friends that they have. So by attending Union Camp, many of them have formed good friendships even through the camps. And with this friendship, they move on into their university life, being able to support each other for their years ahead. And so Union Camp is benefiting the students in that sense.
Then in your opinion, then in your opinion, do you think the Union Camp has been successful in achieving this?
For this objective per se, yes, it did. It did make many friendships. It did forge many friendships among the campus. However, that friendship, how do we keep that friendship last longer? And how can they move forward? Not only besides friendship. That part of the story is yet to be solved. That's why I look into making changes to the Union Camp so that we can introduce some union element to them. To be able to bring them on board into volunteering in the various constituent bodies, even in our communities, so that their friendship can move forward into not only becoming friends, but working together as a team and to achieve something good for future generations or future students.
Alvin Poh. So a follow-up to Jin Jie's question. So as Wing Hing has previously presented about the KPI for this year's red and red flag, and just now you also presented on how you agreed that the principles of flagging should not just be about monetary values. To what extent do you see a shift in the KPI that you will set upon for all the com clubs in terms of flagging?
I think when it comes to monetary KPIs, I won't look into increasing more money. This year we have achieved a very good target. In fact, it's the highest that we've achieved so far, 150,000 I think, plus minus. So basically, the money side, it's good. We have achieved that. Community chats gave us a very good feedback that this money has benefited many different beneficiaries in terms of their operation. And so, instead of just focusing on money, I really hope that's why I propose to look into beneficiary engagement that will benefit the beneficiaries in the other forms of flag.
I agree with that. So, how will you come up with a system of scoring for intangible or do you intend to include that?
Yes.
Scoring, and how will you evaluate?
I realized that this year's model, I've learned that this year's model works well. It's just that there are some things that we should tweak because it depends on the different constituent clubs. So we are looking into creating that platform, that discussion platform that we can have to discuss to iron out, what are things that we can achieve and what are things that we cannot achieve. But basically, having flag as part of the scoring system, I think is a good initiative to be able to drive not only the raggers, not only to push the raggers to work harder for their performance, but also people who flag to work harder to achieve, whether it's through beneficiary engagement or through money.
I heard that you want to bring back the idea of a carnival for that, right? But you already have a student life there anyway. So the thing is there a potential overlap? And if it's a potential overlap, how are you going to overcome it? Because what's going to make students willing to come and commit to 2 sessions of essentially similar stuff?
I think we are not looking into making students to commit 2 sessions. We cannot disagree that students who come down for SLF will come for rank and flag, or the vice versa. So by having more events, basically we are targeting more people who come for one or the other, or some of them, yeah. So basically we are reaching out, expanding our outreach. So we cannot be sure that people who come for rank before will come for SLF, you see. So that is basically to expand that outreach and to be able to target people that we have left out in the process.
CSC, you mentioned about reviewing committee projects. Could you share with us how you intend to do this and perhaps give us an example of a committee project that you feel has certain weaknesses already?
Okay, so when it comes to reviewing committee projects, first of all, besides the usual stuff, which is to have the interim report, I really look forward to work with my team, to sit down with the committees during their meetings, to be able to understand how are they working today and how they can do better for tomorrow. And so that is one of the things that I really look forward to, because I don't believe that the committee should wander around and organize the event that they really organize for the sake of organizing it. But they should really understand the true value of why are you doing this for the students. And as for events, one of the events that there are many problems that I receive from many negative feedbacks that I receive from the events will be Union Camp. Union Camp has lost its purpose to a certain extent, and I really hope to realign that objective back, to make it more relevant, not only for the students to make friendship, but for us to be able to share with them what the union is all about. It's called Union Camp anyway.
So, given that you want to realign the objective of Union Camp, and as you mentioned, it's called Union Camp, how do you intend to involve the con clubs in this aspect?
When it comes to this operationally, I understand that each constituent clubs have their own duties and have their own plans for the year ahead. nearing the summer, all faculty clubs or constituent clubs will be busy with their own events. And so I don't wish to tax them on their end. But I really hope that I'll be able to share part of your things during union camp. Part of the things that you do, part of the things that you achieve with the participants during union camp.
Hansen Engineering Year 2. Can I ask you, what do you think is the current status of our beneficiary engagement, and how do you think that it can be improved?
Well, I realized that through engaging with, through speaking to the various, the event committees, I realized that they basically, let me rephrase this. Beneficiary engagement is not something that everyone stressed on this year. And so I hope that this emphasis will be placed by the different constituent clubs so that our students will be able to benefit when it comes to volunteerism. Being able to contribute back to the society in more personal means.
Hansen Year 2 Engineering, could you expand on how would you go about getting the constituent clubs to do this?
So besides tying them with the beneficiaries that we have already done, we really look into ways where we can judge the amount of effort that they have put in for the beneficiaries. So we are looking into avenues that probably we implement in the scoring system, or how we can add value or make it, emphasize more when it comes to beneficiary engagement in the scoring system.
Can you put the slide on share and use?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is about friend and volunteer appreciation and
Yes.
friendship between members. How do you foresee concrete activities of that on a year level?
So preliminary, I discussed with some of my debates and some of the people that I work with or have experience in this kind of thing. And you're looking, few of the ideas that were suggested was for volunteer appreciation. We can look into ways where maybe the various constituent clubs can look into wearing your faculty club shirt, your committee shirt, and then come and collect a certain welfare that we can provide to them. If you realize that, so some of the examples is like yearly welfare committee produce this free quoting for all students. And so how I can bring that idea into part of this share US will be to have probably the faculty clubs, the volunteers of your various clubs to wear a shirt and come and collect the small initiative, the small welfare gift that we give out for your faculty members, for your faculty volunteers.
So in clarification, is something like our students or volunteers wear our fashion come collect?
More is like your volunteers actually. For the students and friends part, we are looking into ways where we can have photo booth and photo competition for them to be able to, or video competition where they can submit that, about how the friendship that they have developed over the years in the US. And from their competition is how it will be part of this shared events.
Okay, so my question for that would be firstly, right, how do you see the feasibility of that happening? Do you want everybody to come to maybe centralized or decentralized location for that to happen? And two, if you're going to think about video ideas, photo ideas, competition ideas, and emphasize it, how's the capacity going to be, and how are you going to ensure the involvement of so many faculties interested? Because sometimes I think some faculty clubs really face the fact of getting involvement from students, especially maybe seniors, who come for events like this. So if you want to have it at the union level and you want a school-wide competition or involvement per se, how are you going to make sure that it happens?
Right. When it comes to this, I did consider what happens on the faculty end or even the non-faculty end. I understand that all the faculty, all the various clubs have their various activities to organize, various events to conduct, and all the various roles that you need to carry on every year. And so really when I conceptualize this whole Love NUS idea, I really do not want to tax the various constituent clubs with this event. But I look into ways where we can just pass on the message or get you guys involved in a less taxing way. Instead of asking you to organize this for us and stuff like this, launch this, but we want you to the faculty, the different constituent club members to be part of this event. To show your presence, and by showing a union-wide presence, we'll be able to show, a larger scale and larger outreach to the students. It's about the union presence basically in the student community.
1 minute for Q&A. We do have one question.
I actually like to propose a question. I actually design club. So what would be your tangible KPIs in terms of how many people you will be looking to reach out to? And is this worth the effort and amount of energy that the NUSSU will spend and the community clubs and the clubs will spend?
So, well, that's a good question. Because when we conceptualize this whole idea, we have not progressed into that phase yet. We are still looking into ways where we can discuss about this. But going back to the question is that this whole initiative was partly to thank the various constituent club volunteers. We realized that there's a need to be able to appreciate them, to keep them, to stay on in the union, to make them feel like their efforts and the things that they have done plays a part in the whole union picture. So whether this event will be worth the time and effort, I really wouldn't know. But for me, on my side, I really will push out and work hard to make this what I vision it to be a success, which is basically for your volunteers to be appreciated and for the friends to be able to appreciate each other better, not only through the competition means but also through other means. To look into small things like being able to share a note or a message, passing on a message to their friends. So there are also ways, there are also initiatives in the past, like for Valentine's Day, where they pass appreciation messages from people to people. Those kind of things are things that we are looking into. And we hope through that we can reach out to a larger pool of students.
Alvin Poh also close Q&A.
Objection. Q&A as well.
Can your number 1, 3, 4,
5,
6,
7,
8,
9,
10,
12, 13, 14,
15, 16,
17, 18,
21,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30,
21,
32.
23, 24.
more slips. No more. One yes. One yes. One yes. One yes. One yes. It's a yes, but it's that person. One yes. One yes. Invalid. One yes. One yes. One yes. One yes. One yes. One no. One yes. 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 With more than 50% of your population.